So in 2012, Chief Eva Vine allowed me to do what I wanted to do for a very long time, which is to create a juvenile diversion program, and she teamed me with Officer Lloyd, who's a wonderful juvenile officer, and now our team includes Jesse in the front row. And we are doing something unique. I've always believed that in order to not just address the issue at hand, the offense at hand, but to prevent recidivism and to change mindsets, the regular courtroom was not the way to go. I've been around courtrooms the vast majority of my life, and maybe that's why I realized that courtrooms are not the way to go. I've always felt that a mediated restorative justice approach is much more effective. We bring juveniles who are violators of municipal codes and misdemeanors and some felonies into hearings. We address their issues, we address their offenses without having the absolutely grave repercussions of entering the criminal justice system. It doesn't seem like it's such a big deal, but often it's a downward journey for people who are part of the court system. How does our program work, and what does it address? Well, I told you that we address penal code violations, other criminal misdemeanors. We address mostly juveniles or those who are older who are acting like juveniles. Because what we want to do is we want to address things in a way that these individuals, these young men and women, do not get records, because records don't go away. They just don't. Juvenile records don't go away. In court, I see them on every single case. Everybody thinks things have been expunged. For reasons, for purposes that are important, nothing is expunged. We also, more importantly than dealing with the offense, we deal with all those collateral issues of lack of self-esteem or excess self-esteem or destructive behaviors of various kinds, lack of remorse, and sometimes lack of understanding of what the child, the juvenile, has done. Sometimes they don't get it. They don't understand yet why what they did is a problem. It's a problem to society, it's a problem to themselves. So then we have to educate them. And our process is what I like to call course correction. It's a long, painstaking process of course correction, getting a child back on track. And I don't mean the straight and narrow, on track for one person is different from on track for another. What we try to do is see the individual sitting there before us and get that person back on a track that will be productive for him or for her. These are the requirements. This is what I require of the person who's there with me. And this is a voluntary program. This is just a way of having a criminal charge not become a criminal charge. Staying out of court. Staying away from a record. And parents, of course, are always with the child. I require absolute honesty, and I can ferret out a lie like nobody's business. I require true remorse, however long that takes. Sometimes it takes longer than other times because kids know shtick. They know what to say, they know what to do, and so often it works. But we've heard it, and we know, and we don't really buy that stuff. I require that whatever conditions are imposed, there's an adherence to those conditions. Apologies when necessary, sincere apologies, and when the apologies are not sincere, we try again. Restitution when necessary. Letters of why the individual felt entitled to do what he or she did. And you know, that's very helpful. The kids find that to be very, very helpful. And then letters at the end about how the process has affected the individual. And I save those. When I feel like a little down or something and I look at those, I can't even believe what a simple process can do to restore a child's life. My requirements of me. I have to let the child know that no matter how distasteful I find the action that was committed, that there's something that I can honestly say that I have faith in. And sometimes it's easier than other times. I find something because I require absolute honesty from them. I require absolute honesty from me. I just want those kids to know that there's a lot they're going to have to do. This is a tough process, but we are in their corner, right? And you can see the affect sort of melt when you say that. And it's not a canned speech, but what it is it's true. We're in their corner, and we want these kids to succeed. And of my trillions and trillions of cases, I'm sure you know how many cases I've had, 2 have gone to court. It's unbelievable. So then what I have to do, because everyone is an individual, everyone is so different, I have to truly listen. I have to perceive. I have to look these guys in the eye and determine what, for this particular child, will help alter the path. So that's therapy, that's Selma McMillan, that's CLEAR, that's Freedom for You, that's the resource officers. That's all the stuff that's, I think there's so many more things listed too on the Families Connected website that we use. I want them to know, and I think that the kids get the idea after a while, because we don't meet just one time, we don't meet just 2 times. God only knows sometimes we don't even just meet 3 times. But that I really hate to give up. It really annoys me. I do not give up. And somehow that's sustaining. So, if this process is followed, if we get to the end of our journey, then the individual who was an offender has earned something unbelievably precious. That in court diversion, your case is dismissed, which is awesome, right, to have your case dismissed. But in our diversion, your case is never filed. You don't have a case. You can honestly say that you never went to that process. And that's an amazing thing. So our process is a lot grittier and down and dirtier than court, where there are distances. There aren't so many distances. Everyone gets pretty honest in this process. But at the end of this process, the overt hostility that I so often am greeted with becomes gratitude, just really, just such a difference. Kids who were hostile, like full hostile, walk upright, and their eyes are clear, and they shake my hand, and they shake Jesse's hand, and it's an amazing thing, and it's been repeated over and over again, and I thank you all for being here.